things, things you said to me. Waiting out on a Wednesday afternoon. Ooh, I got a break. I could share. I could share. Say hello. Smiley face. Hey, Corey, what's going on, bruh? SMCI. Another day, another dollar. What's up, RD? How we doing, brother? Oh, yeah. Good times. Good times, baby. Like I said, this is why I laugh, man. This is why I laugh. Had a really nice HGRAF day, right? The other day. Posted about it. What happened? Oh, you're not that good. Stop acting like you're always right. Right? That one schmuck was like, oh, you said SMCI to 60 in 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, bro. I mean, in my eyes, that's where it should be, first of all, right? And what? Yeah, well, it didn't happen in 2 weeks. What? So what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, man. All right. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you feel a little bit better. Hang in there, brother. Stay strong. Stay strong. Waiting on a Wednesday afternoon. SMCI breaking up. Highs of the day. SMCI calls, in my opinion. Ride the wave. Yeah, no, it's true. It really is true. I mean, again, like the average trader, it's funny. The average trader who makes money is really only correct like 60-70% of the time. And obviously, that's not necessarily a bad success rate. It's not. But like I said, I believe we hover about 80-90% consistently. So again, I'm just a little bit better than them. But also, it's something like Rolls Royce, right? Like, that's what I mean. It was beaten down. There was value there. Like, you just have to position yourself and just give it time and just let it materialize. If you were able to just buy any stock today and have it double your money tomorrow, then everyone would be a millionaire and you'd only have to invest for, like, 60 days. Right? I mean, come on. That's why, like, I know a lot of the I know a lot of the attention and views and subscribers I gained on the channel were because of SMCI. And I'm grateful for that and I appreciate that. And I know that I stood by my higher price target from day one. So I understand people like, this stock really hasn't done anything, you're over here still saying 200 a share, like, what's going on? And again, I appreciate your frustration, but as you see, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, the stocks do usually end up going pretty much where I predict them to go. So, on one hand, you're probably going to have to give it more time, but again, it just shows you how inexperienced they are as well, right? Not to continue to beat them up, but as we always said, well, as I always tried to relay to you all, something like this, you do not want it to explode right away. Because if it explodes right now to 100 a share, it's gone, right? It's gone. Now, yes, you're going to make some profit, more than likely. But, you're missing the big picture. And what's the big picture? How does big money and smart money view an SMCI right now? How they're viewing it is, in my eyes, the growth, the revenue, the demand, as stated, is inevitable. Estimates were just 10 billion, they did 12.5. So that's what I mean. In my eyes, inevitably, come hella high water, this stock is going higher. And what you want is the stock to stay here so you can continue to work, you can continue to run your business, you can continue to move over a few bucks when you have it, and you can continue to accumulate shares and build a position. I mean, imagine we had a time machine, right? Imagine we had a time machine. Let's say we go 12, 15 months into the future, and SMCI is trading at $100 a share. Now I bring you back to today. How would you view it? You would view it as, you know what you know, and while it was down here, you would look to accumulate every share you could and build the largest position you could so that if it does run to 100, you make even more money. Do you understand? That's what I mean. People miss the big picture. And I understand if you're saying, well, Derek, I don't make that much money. I don't have, thousands coming in to where I'm going to, take advantage of it like that. I can appreciate that. But again, you look back at the growth and the compounded appreciation. Even stocks not paying dividends, right? Growth tech companies, right? Like Nvidia. Think about it. Between all the growth, all the compounded appreciation, all the stock splits, right? Now imagine I take you back 10, 15 years ago and, you can only afford 10 shares or something, right? You see what it could become. So, like I said, I'm trying to help everyone out in the moment, and in my opinion, if and when this stock explodes and skyrockets back to 100 and gets to 200 a share, in my eyes, everyone's going to be crying that they didn't buy more. That's it. And the reason I know this is because it happens every single fucking time. In other news, we once again have great, sound, fundamentally solid stocks like SECO, of course, right? Hitting newer highs again today. 220.76 a share. Hold on, there you go. But they tell me I'm lucky, right? I got lucky with HGRAF. You're not that good. This guy thinks he's Buffett. I mean, first of all, again, I was Series 7, Series 63 licensed. I have managed millions of dollars. No one else out there can really say that. Maybe a few people. I don't know. But again, I bring you a situation like this. I mean, this stock is up over 400% long term. Pays you a dividend to own it. Right? But it's boring, so no one cares. Everybody wants HGRAF. And then when you bring them HGRAF, they don't take you seriously. And then when the stock materializes to an over 4,000% return, what do they say? Yeah, you just got lucky once. Yeah, I'm getting lucky pretty consistently, huh? Once again, SB, another stock we spoke about. New 52-week highs again. 646, right? I was down here at 3.25 saying, man, I'd be a buyer at SB. Book value's like 7.5 a share. They pay you a dividend to own it. No one knows about it. It's a smaller cap company. You're getting involved into the transportation sector, the shipping sector, and it's an international play as well, right? Was it Monaco? Morocco? I always confuse it. Monaco. Right? So I'm hitting all bases right there. That's an under-the-radar, small-cap, undervalued company, in my opinion, that pays you a dividend to own it. Now it's in the shipping sector, so you're diversified, and it's technically an international company. Do they listen to the actual financial knowledge and advice I provide? No. Then they see a HGRAF post, didn't buy it and listen to me a year ago, and now they cry to me. Oh, you got lucky. You're not that good. You want to charge people? You're not worth paying for. Yeah, all right, buddy. Just a quick update as well. I mentioned about 8 State of the Union plays that I would have positioned myself into coming out of Trump's speech. Just want to let everyone know I went 8 for 8. I went 8 for 8, batted 1,000. I said calls on 3 indexes across the board. I said calls on gold and silver. I said calls on YOU, which is up 26% today. I said calls shares on Core Civic, CXW, that prison stock. That's up today. And whatever the other one was. Berna as well. BYRN. I mean, to be this consistently correct across the fucking board, whether we're talking OTC, micro cap, small cap, large cap, blue chip, spec play, dividend, I mean, you name it, I can do it. And that's what I mean. Anyone who has the audacity to try to, quote unquote, take me down a peg, right? Or call it like it is. Oh, you're not that good. You just got lucky. Let me tell you something. Forget about cloud 9. You're on cloud 12, my friend. You are so far removed from what I have brought to the table for this community over the years. You are so disconnected. You do not see value at all. You are a permanent troll. You live in an endless cycle of negativity. Because again, if the biggest bitch and moan you have is SMCI didn't explode yet, then you're crying to the wrong crowd. That's the least of my concerns, I'll tell you that much. Hey, Makla, I saw you, buddy. I appreciate those kind words, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're positioned. I'm glad you're doing well. Like I said, I'm growing people's accounts into the 6, into the 7 figures. And I've been doing it consistently for almost 5 straight years now, documented, video proof. And people show up last week and, oh, this guy got lucky. All right, buddy. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought being successful and being right more than I'm wrong and bringing great companies and technically making a shit ton of people a lot of money. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that was like the priority here. Also, we have Coca-Cola Consolidated. Up. New all-time highs, 199.40. 199.40. Did a 10-for-1 split back in May. Everyone said, I'm going to buy it when it splits, $100 a share. Well, guess what, my friends? It has been, 8 months? You're up 100% post-split. Once again, you are up 100% post-split. And of course, when I originally brought it to the channel, it was back at like $500 a share. The stock went up to like $1,500 before the split, right? So you're up several 100%. If you actually paid attention. Do I feel bad that people missed it? No. How could I feel bad? I did my job, man. I'm sorry. I know people are going to say, well, I didn't know about your channel at the time. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it's on record. That's what I mean. I've been doing this shit consistently for 5 years. To call me lucky is... It's a shame. It really is. CBOE, new all-time highs today, $295 a share. There you go. Did a video back there at about 123, 124, right before 2023 started. Again, in my eyes, this is an inevitable grower. As you see, stock's up like 150% from the video. Pays you a dividend to own it, right? You drip the dividends, and you're up now 170%. But don't worry about it. That's just me getting lucky again. I was talking about LAC just the other day when it was down here. I was saying LAC, 430s, 440s. That's on sale, in my opinion. I'd be a buyer. Hit almost 540 today, right? So there you go. If you listened to me just a week ago on something like LAC, you're up 25%. What's going on with SMCI? Durr. When silver was down here in the 60s and the 70s, I was screaming, I'd be buying that dip. So you all jumped in silver, right? You should all be up, what, 15? Nice quick 15% at least. Yep, LAR's been doing well. You and I, RD, we spoke about that, right? We got LAR, we got LAC. Look at this. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, shout out to RD. He mentioned LAR multiple times. We spoke about it again. This was the... Oh, no, wait. Was this the spinoff? I can't even remember, but across the board, we were talking about metals, minerals, materials. That's where the value is. And, again, shout out to RD. Got a call for LAC 2028. Okay, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I believe this is going to be LAC, hopefully like towards the end of the year, going into 2027. Hopefully we'll be kind of up and running and operational. Spend up to $1.6 billion for Thacker Pass, Phase 1 in 26. If you recall, they got a loan from the Department of Energy for about $2.5 billion, right? $2.23 billion. And of course, yep, they got what, like $800 million from GM. Continues to target mechanical completion of Thacker Pass Phase 1 processing plant in late 2027. Late 2027. You're welcome, Alex. Yep, silver and gold dip. That was easy. Like I say, man, shit's easy. Don't make it harder than it is. And that's why you come in here, you cry, oh, this one stock you mentioned isn't exploding for me yet. It's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm already usually so correct. And then if I'm incorrect, or if it takes a couple of months more to materialize, like, you're really gonna hold that against me? Really? That's what you're trying to tell me. That's what I mean, man. People gotta grow up, man. People gotta grow up. All those people who are talking shit, this is my recommendation. Go open an account with a broker. Go have that experience. Then get back to me. Because only then will you give me the credit I deserve and understand that I'm much, much different than these other schmuckheads out there. No, yeah, 100%. 100%. That's why, again, all the domestic plays working out very well. Domestic copper hitting highs. Domestic lithium, in my eyes, is the play. Again, domestic steel, right? Again, I got lucky with that one too, right? U.S. Steel from 1970 to $55 a share. What can I say? You know, sometimes you just get lucky. I'm just so lucky, like, all the time. It's pretty wild, huh? Yep. Right up to trend line stepping. Waiting for the break up to trend line here, about 33.63, 4, which it technically touched above. Next stop right here, resistance level 34, roughly 34. 34. We get above 34. We're going to see some action. Oh, excuse me. SMCI, all up in my eye. You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend, let's spin. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Yeah, that's a good point, RD. We might just be too diversified, too damn good. We might, honestly, we might be too damn good that these youngins cannot even interpret the value. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yep, people mentioned NVIDIA earnings. Again, that stock has been fake for years, right? So anyone who's just joining us, full disclosure, I don't pay attention to NVIDIA. There's literally 1,000 other uneducated schmuck traders out there with YouTube channels that only talk about that and Tesla. So if you want updates on those stocks, you can go talk to those people. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Oh, look at how strong that baby is. Look at how strong. Today is the greatest day I've ever known. Whoa, oh, 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 NVIDIA. Whoa, oh, 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 NVIDIA. The question is, will they bring in $66 billion in revenue? We find out T-minus 1 hour. Yeah, that's what I mean. I call something like a sell-off back to a trend line. Yeah, something like that. Even people don't take me seriously. Look at that. It's whatever. Again, the company is sitting with a market cap of $5 trillion. So, I don't know. I don't even know how to play it. All I know is, whether they hit or miss, they're probably going to talk about how much demand and how great business is, right? So, I assume... Oh, SMCI back to trendline. I assume SMCI will probably, whatever, you know, maybe see like a 50-cent little bump after hours, hopefully. So we'll keep an eye on that, but SMCI above trendline. SMCI above trendline. Nah, don't worry about that. Buy something else. Whoa, NVIDIA. Whoa, Hey guys, I know everyone says it, and it's unbelievably tedious and annoying at this point to constantly keep hearing it, but just do me a quick favor and just push the like button. It just helps put the stream, like, on more people's homepage and shit, you know? Telling you, SMCI, man, I still like it, man. I still like it. That's just me, though. SMCI at, oh, SMCI above trend line. SMCI highs of the day. See that? So if you bought calls, you're up a few bucks already. Financial genius. Genius. And of course, listen, I understand anyone who missed HGRAF and now, of course, you'd like another stock at 10 cents that goes to $2. Like, yeah, of course, I understand. But they are very few and far between. You know, it was kind of its own special situation. You know, it is what it is. And I'm not saying, I just want to disclose this. I'm not saying, like, oh, it can never happen again, right? You know, like, I got blessed, I found one, and that's it. I'm not saying we can't do it again. But I need everyone to understand, if that's where you now want my focus to be, on these literal OTC up-and-coming micro-cap stocks, now you need to understand that what that does is, that completely flips our success rate on its head. Right? So if we were correct now 80-90% of the time, with those OTC stocks, I'm probably only going to be right about 10 to 20% of the time, believe it or not. It is much, much more unpredictable, and if you happen to have bad timing, it is much, much more unforgiving. Bro, see what I mean, bro? I love you. I don't want to hear about your freaking crackhead stock that you own, bro. I want to hear that. I told you everything to do. And I assume you did everything, because you'd be up a massive chunk by now, right? So I took time out of my day to speak to you in voice chat in Discord. Right? So you listened to me, right? Okay. I hope so. I hope so. Again, you had SMCI 10% lower. You had, I don't know if I spoke about LAC. I don't know if you bought that one, but I know I spoke to you about silver. Silver was what? That was back 74, 76 an ounce or whatever it was, right? Now we're back up above 90. That's what I mean. I really try to do the right thing by peoples, man. Yeah, so, right? And now, okay, Alex, eh, tell everyone when you joined. Tell them the time I gave you. And look, I want everyone to look. He came in here recently. I gave him time. Look at the three positions that, in my opinion, I recommended to him to buy immediately. Look at those three positions. Right? Now let him tell you when he actually came into the stream and came into the Discord to speak to me about it. And now you do the calculation and see how well I took care of him. And again, this man, I don't know this man from Adam. He didn't even come in and say, oh, yeah, I'll give you $100. Can I talk to you for a minute? Right? Guy didn't even tip me. Guy didn't even tip me. But that's okay. That's okay. I know you will, baby. Just having a laugh. I was in the middle of playing Final Fantasy. This is a true story. I'm in the middle of playing Final Fantasy. All of a sudden, this guy is like, yo, why don't you come in here? Help me out. Unbelievable. And that's what I mean. I took time. Again, that was my leisure time, right? You know all of these other people. They'll talk to you in Discord. Maybe they'll make a video or two that day. And then, like, once 4 or 5 o'clock hits, that's it. They check out. If you message them, they don't respond. Right? You can DM them with a emergency. They ain't answering you. They're off the clock. My man messaged me. What was it, Alex? 11? Midnight? Sitting here relaxing, playing Final Fantasy. All of a sudden, someone reaches out, needs my help. Never sent me $1. I did not owe this man anything. And look what I did for him. And that was what? 2 weeks ago, Alex? Look what I did for this man. And people have the audacity to try to take me down in my comments. People have the audacity to try to say, oh, yeah, you're not that good. You're like the rest of them. You got lucky. How dare you? Shame on you. How dare you? By the way, if you bought SMCI calls, you're up. Oh, it's like a gift, really. Shout out to Killian, who stepped in on some SECO the other day. What do you say, 190? Fantastic buy, fantastic. We got a couple of guys in the Discord. Back when SB was like $3, $4, they bought longer term calls. Obviously, they're up nicely. SMCI, how's it today? Waiting on a Sunday afternoon. Shout out to the pilots. Stone Temple. You know what? Enough of this nonsense. Let me check my account, see if I'm rich. Nope. I get knocked down, but I get up again. SMCI is at the high of the day. I get knocked down, but I get up again. SMCI is going to 34 trend line. I get knocked down, but I get up. Everybody, SMCI is going to 34. I get knocked down, but I get up again. SMCI is now at the highs of the day. 8.5%. There you go. Stocks up 1% from the call out. Options are up. Financial genius. My thoughts on HGRAF are, this is laughable. This is laughable. We spoke about it in the Discord. Again, shout out to Nick. What did I say? I don't even remember what I said. Hold on one sec. Oh my God, excuse me. All right, here. Okay. Yeah, so Nick posted the article. They said fully marketed broker private placement of about 5.8 million units at 510 Canadian. 510 Canadian. Approximately 30 million Canadian, right? Which is what, like 50 million US? It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. Staffing the new headquarters, advancing the development of its second graphene production facility in Texas. Advancing the development of its second graphene production facility in Texas. Expanding marketing and sales initiatives, supporting ongoing R&D, strengthening the company's IP portfolio, partnerships. We got warrants coming out. Nick said it's going to be gobbled up in a day. Guess what? That's pretty much what happened in my eyes, right? 5.8 million shares. Traded about half of that today. Nobody's, again, people in my eyes are just holding. 50 million American. She was good at timing, right? Last time we had an offering, we ran to new highs, minimal dilution. Shout out to Nick, baby. Shout out to Nick. And you can see each whole warrant exercisable at 610 Canadian, which again, we hit new highs higher than that just the other day. And here I posted as well, I wanted to mention this part where it speaks about the warrant acceleration, right? So if at any time following the closing date, the daily volume weighted average trading price of the common shares on the CSE equals or exceeds 12.20 for 10 consecutive days, the company may, at its discretion, accelerate the expiry date of the warrants by giving not less than 30 days notice. So again, what that means is if we get to 12.20 or higher for 10 days, they can now force the end date of the warrants, which in turn would force volume into the stock, which in turn would force more buying than selling, in my eyes. Do you understand? Do you understand? And then I made fun of Nick for stalking the CEO's Twitter account, Instagram, whatever he's doing over there. Out there creeping, TLC. So, in my opinion, even with that news of the offering, the fact that the stock, again, I mean, you know, we're talking, what, 4 or 5% dip? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing in my eyes. Right? So potentially next trend line stop for HGRAF is about 8.25, we'll call it Canadian. But then you see the next breakup. Look at this. I mean, we're talking, you know, 16, 17. That's what I mean. That's why if it really takes off, it can hit that 1220 mark, bro. It can hit that 1220 mark. And it could potentially just stay up and hold and climb. Again, it's 2 weeks, 10 consecutive trading days. That's 2 weeks. I don't know, man. Like I say, I know what I know. You want to try to bring us down? It's whatever. Double down madness. Killian, I'm glad you're doing well, brother. 5-10 years, HGRAF will buy me a house. Hey, man, again, that was the idea. That was the idea, so, I hope it does. I really hope it does. Whole world waiting for NVIDIA. Whew, look at that sub. Phenomenal. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Yeah, and I knew Trump was going to talk about law and order, law enforcement. Yep, look at burn up 6.5% today. CXW back above 17. Got up to 17.25. Nice 4% day. YOU I spoke about. Stock's up 37% right now. Hello. I guess no one bought this, right? This is what I mean. I talk to myself. And then they get upset about SMCI. I put out an earnings tweet yesterday saying calls on YOU in my opinion. I put out a separate tweet mentioning it in State of the Union calls. And I mentioned it in the Discord. And I spoke about it on stream yesterday. But that's what I mean, right? I just got lucky, bro. Everyone does what we do. $40% day. Nobody owns it. Yep, thank you, Killian. Just another day. This is what I do. I do it every day. They call me lucky. Oh, they call me lucky. Specifically mentioned it as an earnings and State of the Union play. And no one owns it, right? So if you get mad at me about SMCI, how entitled am I to get mad right now? Yep, they dropped HII down, but guess what? New highs again. 451.86. Video brought to you at $216. Video brought to you in April at $216. The stock has literally done nothing but gone up since I made my video. And not one person owns it. But they think they deserve an answer for SMCI. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't. It's the final countdown, boys and girls. You got 30 minutes. Lock in whatever trades you want to take. I'm sorry. I need to smoke. Waiting Sunday afternoon. Oh, yeah. Nice car going by. SMCI all up in my eye. Let's get a little closer. There we go. Look how good that looks. Like I said, Killian tells me to do a poll in Discord asking who owns Dollar General. 20 people answer no. And then one person flipped out, had a nervous breakdown. Cursed me out. Can't make this shit up, man. What do I always tell you guys? I mean, I tell you about a million things, so that's obviously rhetorical. You can in no way know the answer. But, the pikers, man. The pikers, they always give you direction. In the moment, it makes no sense. But they always give you direction, right? They get impatient with MBOT. Boom, it starts popping, getting news. HGRAF, why is it up? It's overvalued. I'm waiting for it to dip. Nope, never dips. Just keeps climbing. Keeps hitting new highs. You told me SMCI would double in 2 weeks. It hasn't moved. Guess what? We got some great news coming out on it today, and the stock's up freaking 8.5%. Right? So, thank you, Piker. Thank you, Piker. Because again, I know some people are new, but people don't realize I literally did this for a living. And I'm showing you the proof in the pudding with the success rate and with the consistency and the diversification. So that's why, like, you may see me, like, flip out and type a paragraph to someone in the YouTube comment. Like, I just want to let you know, like, I am, like, no schmuck online in a YouTube comment is ever going to get me to back down or apologize or anything like that. I just want you all to know that right fucking now. Right fucking now. And that's what I mean. That's why when I remove certain people or when I just inevitably choose to just ban someone from the Discord if they say some dumb shit. Again, like, people don't understand. Like, I've been down this road before. And if you are cancer, we have to cut you out. Hmm. Hey, what's up, B-Ray? B-Ray? B-Roni? You said SMCI would make me money. Duh. All in SMCI, all up in my eye. It's my boy right there. If it was me, I'd go all in. But that's just me. I'm Mr. Vegas. Ba-dum-ba-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Are there any other earnings anyone's watching? Yeah, MBOT, like I said, I might just get a little update. I don't know if it'll be too impactful, but I mean, who knows what they could say. If you like to buy me flowers, just go ahead now. And if you like to talk for hours, just go ahead now. Remember him, remember me. I'm the one that love you, baby, can't you see? I want to, Princess kneel before you. Go ahead now. Oh man, what do we got? About 20 minutes. Gonna have to do a lightning round. La da da da, la da da da. Ba da ba ba, ba da ba ba. What's going on here? Oh, that's ready to pop up to 34 as expected. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, let me check earnings here. 180 companies? Bro. Bro. Look at all these companies, bro. You know what? You know what? I don't think I want to look at any of them. So unfortunately, usually people don't even listen, so... I mean, like, that's what I mean. Should I even take the time to look at all these stocks? Corey, you mentioned Joby. Guess I'll just look at that one. I don't remember if I spoke about this one before. No. I would buy puts on that, in my opinion. I would buy puts on that, baby. That's just my opinion. All right. I would say Nvidia puts. I would actually say Salesforce puts. Honestly, all of these. Trade Desk, Snow puts. Maybe IonQ calls. Probably something like Pure Storage calls. Zoom puts, in my opinion. Oh, NU is reporting. NU, last time I looked, was growing very nice fundamentally, so might be something to consider. Yep, you gotta buy puts on this too, in my opinion. Redwire. Jeez. Yeah, maybe calls with this one, Redwire. AI. Yep. Probably puts here on AI, in my opinion. Maybe calls on Urban Outfitters. Last time I looked at FTAI, it was overvalued, and of course it's up and up and up. Uh-huh. Huh? Well, that is still extremely overvalued, in my opinion. Joby puts. What else we got here? Honest, yeah, I would do calls on Honest just because they beat the crap out of it. IMAX puts. Starbull calls. Probably calls on Agilent, in my opinion. Churchill Downs, I would do calls. Enovix, they're still around. I would do puts. ZipRecruiter puts. I would do Teladoc calls. Oh my god, that's only halfway down the list. Orashore. Wow, I actually pitched that for a little while. I remember that was it had like a hepatitis test or something. I don't remember. And what about tomorrow morning? D-Wave Quantum. Yep, that's coming back down, in my opinion. Qubits puts. Probably Celsius calls, in my eyes. Baidu calls. TD puts. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a couple of brand names, but I don't know how well they'll do. Maybe calls on Papa John's. Puts on Krispy Kreme. Still got 10 minutes. B-Fly, I looked at that a long time ago. Calls on B-Fly. Do, 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 do. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba. Skibidi-bidi-beep-beep-bee, skibidi-dee. It's 33.85. Oof. Look at that, huh? I delayed my herbal refreshment so I can do a earnings lightning round. Uh, MBOT 4 million shares traded hands today. Almost double volume. Whew. Look at that strength. And like I said, man, they always let you know. What's going on with MBOT? Why is it down? It's sub 2. What do you think about MBOT? Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Once again, that's why I mentioned something like an SMCI. Oh, what's going on? You said it would go higher. You're not that good. You don't want it to explode. But people don't understand that part. How do I reach these kids? Right? An SMCI with great news, having a great day today. You think anyone's gonna put their pride in their back pocket and leave a comment saying, "Yeah, I had a good day. Yeah, my bad. You know, it's starting to heat up." Of course not. Of course not. Cause we don't make men anymore. That's the issue. We don't make frickin' men anymore. Everyone's a little trolling little bitch. Feel like a babysitter. Spark 'em if you got 'em. Yeah, I know there's only a few of you in here, but do me a favor. I'm gonna push this insert ad button. You just tell me what happens. It just says ads inserted. That's it. And there's a break button. I could have swore they sent me an email like, I don't know, a year ago saying that, oh, when you go live, you'll be able to like stream on Twitch also. And like, I don't know. That never happened. Where's that option? I don't see that option. HGRAF 3x daily volume. I personally am not worried, but that's just me. That's just me, baby. Everyone and their brother watching NVIDIA. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Oh, 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 NVIDIA. Oh, 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 NVIDIA. Oh yeah, I didn't check the time. What is it? Quarter after? 4:20. All right. So let's see. Trade desk. Down 6.5% roughly. Yep, I said puts. Down 9.5%. CRM. I said puts. We go up, and now we're down 1.5%, 2%, 2.5%, 3%. There you go. So far, 2 for 2. Snow. Not yet. These other names, a little after 4. Oh! And that's funny, man. I almost said it. I almost said it. Then I was like, nah, I don't know. I honestly did not expect that from them. Nutanix. NTNX up 33% right now. Yeah, a lot of these names are later. Alligator. Yeah, but the revenue, as we see, hasn't been an issue. You know, and you're pumping this stock 35%. But we need to see the share amount, because that's why it's been dropping. I'm curious if that one holds. Let's watch our Joby. Well, I know I got here late. Unfortunately, I had a bunch of shit to take care of today. My apologies for that, but hopefully everyone is doing all right. Hopefully everyone had a good day. Joby, some initial little green here. Again, I understand the appeal of a lot of these companies, but I mean, again, like we pumped this all the way up. I mean, we got a market cap 9.5 billion. 9.5 billion. And we're looking for $16 million this quarter. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why people are like, oh, why do you think SMCI should be more? It's like, bro, you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just to let you know, 9.5 billion, that's like half the market cap of SMCI, right? Just keep that in mind. Expecting $16 million. Half the market cap of SMCI. People ask me why I like it so much. Give me a break. Alright, what's going on here? It was 405. Now it's 406. Hello. Hello. Alright. Screw them then. We'll come back to it. Snow. 122. They technically missed on revenue, but the stock is up 6%. That's a first. Yeah. I love it. I love when they do this. Yeah, we just missed our earnings, but next year it'll be great. Oh, okay. Alright. Seeing an 8% bump right now for Snowflake, SNOW. In my opinion, they do not deserve that. But that's okay. Can't win them all. IonQ brings in almost 62 million versus estimates of 40. IonQ beating revenue estimates by roughly 50%. Stock's up about 3.5–4% right now. Pretty, that actually surprised me a little bit. I know we talking stocks and stuff, but I just want to say you're funny as fuck. Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I try to, like I said, you know, fill the silence and entertain you guys along the way. 2025 revenue surged 202% to 130 million, with 2026 guidance set at 225 to 245 million. IonQ with some positive numbers here moving forward, showcasing some nice growth. Stock went from about 33.5, right now it's at about 35.5, up about 5.6% after hours. Zoom. All I wanna do is about zoom. Hey, Zoom puts. Yeah, I don't know how these people even hit their mark, man. Yeah, they were looking for 123. Zoom brought in 125. All right. I did say puts though, so Zoom down almost 3% right now, down about $2.50. I can't believe this Nutanix. Up. What'd I say? What'd I say? AMD to buy $150 million of Nutanix stock in new partnership. Revenue rose 10% year over year with record new customer growth and higher ARR. They did keep continuing to increase their float though, which is not really a good thing. But again, AMD to buy 150 million of NTNX stock in new partnership. And again, this stock was immediately up 35%, now only up 11%. 11%. But technically they beat on revenue, so can't talk too much shit. How about AI? I said AI puts. AI is currently down 18% right now after hours, losing 94 cents a share. $133 million loss. Estimates on revenue were only about 75 million. So that was called correctly. IMAX pulls through. Estimates 120.75 million. They brought in 125.5. It looked like record revenue, profitability, system growth in 25, strong 26 outlook. EPS 58 cents versus estimates of 45 cents. They cleared about 637,000 for themselves. In my opinion, it's like a specific luxury situation, right? That's why something like IMAX is hard to call. So something like this, we know if you want to go for the IMAX or the 3D experience, right, it's going to be like a brand name big feature film coming out or something like that. So something like IMAX, in my opinion, it is hard to call, only because I don't really pay attention to like movies coming out and shit. So kind of up for grabs really with the earnings for IMAX, but technically they did come in above estimates. And we're seeing about a 5% pop on IMAX right now after hours. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. There was like 200 names coming out, so I'm just looking through everybody to see. What about Enovix? Yeah, I saw Joby was up a little bit above 10. I didn't see numbers, though. Enovix, profit 2.5 mil. Okay, well, they were technically looking for a loss, so did they go net income positive this quarter? We're only seeing about a 4.25% bump here on Enovix. Again, this was, I believe, battery company, right? Market cap about 1 1/3. We looked at this one a while back in the, yeah, like over here. Yeah, and I was looking for a breakdown here. It's just kind of been bouncing around, just chopping up and down, as you see, in this downward channel. And this is what happens a lot of the times with these companies, right? We spoke about them just kind of being overvalued out of the gate. Not necessarily that, you know, the business sucks and they're not going to make it. It's got nothing to do with that. And that's why even like back in the day when it was like $9, $10 and I was like, I don't know, maybe, I'd wait for a cheaper price. People were like, oh, you don't understand. It's going to be huge what they're bringing to the market. And again, it's not that I'm disagreeing with the potential growth of the business. What the problem is, these companies come out, they take like 5, 10, 30 billion. Meanwhile, they're pre-revenue for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, we're pulling up the numbers and look, we're bringing in 4 or 5 million a quarter. And I'm not knocking it, right? I mean, we know we got to start somewhere with a business, right? 4 or 5 million, not bad. But if you come out with a $5, $10 billion valuation, you know what I'm saying? Essentially, it's free trading money for the shorts, if you think about it. That's why I get aggravated with something like an ASTS. Stock, they really haven't done much. But it is what it is. Like I said, we just got to take what the market gives us and work with what we got. Zip. Nope, not that one. All right, let's recheck some of these names. What about IonQ? How they doing? Up about 7%. Net loss widened to 510 million. Heavy R&D and acquisitions. Yeah, I mean, they see the problem is now they're hard to time because they took these quantum stocks up bigly when they themselves still said, like, we kind of still need a couple of more years. We might be getting ahead of ourselves. So, it is hard to call. I mean, they have been positive for the most part. And again, as you see, IonQ bringing in 60 million. Estimates were only 40 million, so the business is growing. They're getting more and more deals, but I mean, a $12 billion market cap, right? Well, technically more now, right? And that's what I mean. It's like, could it get good news and positive catalyst and earnings beats to see pops? Absolutely. Absolutely. But as I always said, stocks like this now that are technically overvalued on paper, they're going to be the first ones to get smacked if markets pull back, sell off, correct, anything. So again, good quarter. Just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind. Pure Storage. I said calls. Stock is up 4.5% right now. Record revenue, strong outlook driven by robust enterprise, hyperscaler demand. I don't have time to read all these reports, honestly. I'm sorry, but look at that, 100 names here. New. I said calls on new. Stock goes down and then up. Currently at about 17 1/3. Up almost 5% now at about 17.5. Nubank increases net profit by 50% in fourth quarter. This stock has been on fire. The growth that this company is seeing is just, and you know what it is? You know what it is, right? We know what it is. It's the introduction of newer, smaller banks and financial institutions to try to undercut and give the people the better option, as opposed to the 3, 4, 5 major players that they might have in, their respective countries or whatever, right? And you're seeing it across New Holding, SoFi, right? This is what I mean. You're seeing these smaller up-and-coming banks and institutions now really chunking up and making a name for themselves and growing in the space, gaining more of that market share of the demographic, and now they're players in the spaces. That's it. Got NVIDIA in about a minute. I'm just trying to check some of these names here. Redwire, flat. Urban. Put a little urban on it. Urban record sales, margin expansion, and robust subscription growth fueled strong annual results. Urban Outfitters rental business beats its sales target. $5. That was adjusted? No, not adjusted. Nuuly, yeah, I don't follow these clothing brands, but Nuuly brand was looking for about 500 million. They did 568 million. Expanded base of active monthly subs to 420,000. Seeing that number a lot today. Up roughly 40% from a year earlier. Profit of $35 million increased more than $21 million year over year. Nuuly is about 10% of their revenue. Okay. Target for Nuuly is 1 billion, of course. Net sales for the year rose over 11% compared to last year to 6.17 billion. Profit increased 15% to 465 million. Not too bad. Not too bad. Urban Outfitters, again, maybe not the most popular stock, but technically strong report. Stock up right now about 1.5% after hours. Are we out? Okay. Everyone's waiting for Nvidia. Let's just check Star Bulkers. The problem is I don't remember which ones of... really? 300.5 million. Net profit 65 million. Declares dividend 37 cents. Wait. Revenue 300.5 million. Estimates 260 million. Star Bulk Carriers, again, another shipping company. Right now down about 1%. Looks like they beat on revenue, though. Agilent. Okay, I said calls. Agilent raises fiscal year 26 revenue outlook and increases adjusted EPS guidance. Revenue slightly misses estimates. Okay. Results hurt by U.S. snowstorm. Yeah. Yep, that happens. So, Agilent right now, ticker symbol A, down about 2.7%. I did say calls on that one. Got hit by the snowstorm. Churchill Downs. Beat? We beat? Q4 revenue up 7%, beats expectations. Expects project capital to be 180 to 220 million. 665.9 million. We were looking for about 660 million. So Churchill Downs with a nice slight beat there on the top and bottom line. CHDN. Stock not seeing much action. Nvidia. Doc. Down then up. Stable revenue, improved losses, mixed segment trends, cautious 26 growth outlook. Brought in 642.26 million, estimate 635. TDoc, Teladoc Health, TDOC. Good with, again, some kind of rough waters ahead of it. Stock goes down, and essentially back to flat right now. Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. Alright. I think we did get a decent amount of those calls correct, but I know there were a lot of names, so I'm sure, you know, you didn't take 20 earnings positions, so. But hopefully, if you did take any, it's working out well for you. Whether I was right or wrong, doesn't matter. Okay, either we don't have numbers yet or I missed them. Nvidia essentially flat right now. Oh, man. It's been a good week, though, so far, right? Pretty darn good week. And we're hitting the end of the month. What? Friday? Nope. There you go. When we get back into it next week, we'll officially have 2 months of the year behind us. A+ week. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, like we said, you know, something like Fubo, again, I mean, could still work out. We know it could still work out. Just bad timing with that reverse stock split. But again, they were talking about over a billion shares in the float. So sometimes you have to contract the supply. But again, the Fubo down move now pissed a lot of people off, but as we know, originally brought to you on the channel at $3, ran up to $3.85 on its own merits, jumped up to $6.50 on the Disney news. So technically, Fubo has been very, very good to us. Obviously, this last quarter, not so much. But it happens. Again, it happens. And same thing with PayPal. You know, a lot of people, and rightfully so, because I know I was talking about it, because there's a reason I was talking about it, right? Because in my opinion, there's value there, and it was undervalued. Obviously, Wall Street thought differently. You know, people were jumping in at 60, 70. They dropped the stock to 40. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's looking for an explanation. And then, all of a sudden, oh, there's interest maybe from JP Morgan. Oh, we heard Stripe might make an offer. Now, all of a sudden, there's value, and the stock's back in play, and the spotlight's on it, right? So, you know, that's what I mean. Sometimes the timing is not always impeccable. There's only so much I can do. You have to control the controllables, right? We talk about this all the time. You have to control the controllables. And that's why I always say these lines and these mantras, like, I know what I know, right? I know what I know. How come SMCI is not at 70 yet? Doesn't matter. I know what I know. But yeah, I'm just happy, man. MBOT with some good news, man. Jump back up 2.5. HGRAF, obviously, I mean, just phenomenal. There's really just every A+, beautiful adjective that you can think of is what's with HGRAF right now. It's just been white hot. All right, what is going on? Did I miss it? What is going on? It's funny, right? Last time we saw like SMCI delay the results for a few minutes, and they ended up surprising. It'd be hot shit if Nvidia delays for a few minutes and ends up missing, and the stock craters right now. I did say puts, technically. I always say Nvidia puts on earnings, because the stock, I mean, the company's not worth $5 trillion. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, saying the messages aren't coming through. It did seem like there was a stretch where nobody was typing anything to me. It did seem weird, but whatever, it happens. Who gives a shit? That's why, right? Even if we have a problem on the stream, if you're in the Discord, it's no problem, right? This is no problem. Nvidia just hanging out right now. Up about half a point. And we got a lot of names doing well. Again, something like DraftKings, again, did not work out. Did not work out the way we anticipated. I do still like it, though. That's just my opinion. It's just me. Oop. Nvidia, big swings, up, down, back up. They netted $42.96 billion. That's ridiculous. Automotive revenue, 600 mil. Adjusted EPS, $1.62. Of course, they beat. It was looking for 153. Data center revenue, $62.3 billion. Total revenue, $68.1 billion. Estimates of $66.1 billion. Automotive revenue up 6%. Data center revenue up 75%. Gaming revenue up 47%. Brought in $3.7 billion gaming revenue. Professional visualization revenue, $1.3 billion. That segment revenue is up 159%. So, of course, Nvidia somehow, yet again, right? Like we always say, right? They're within 0.1 to like 1% of every other business out there. But somehow, even throwing out $66 billion, they still missed by billions. And the company reports, what, $69 billion. Oh, it just continues to amaze me. No analyst can pin this down, right? That's really what you expect me to believe. Such a crock of shit. Yeah, record growth, strong outlook, yeah. We essentially paved the way for them and gave them the keys to the kingdom, so... yeah, I bet they do frickin' have a good, strong outlook next year as well. Nvidia stock currently up about 2.5%, back up to about $200 a share. Previous high was a little over $212. So, based off previous performance, it will probably hit new highs. They came out 10 minutes later than they should have. And somehow, miraculously, it was such a beat. These profit margins are extreme, too, man. I mean, you're bringing in $60 billion, you're clearing 50 of it? That's insane. Oh, baby, I love you way. Oh, yeah, honest. Oh. 2025 organic growth, margin gains, set stage for 26 organic expansion, and share buybacks. Revenue fell 1.9% to 371.3 million. Net loss at 15.7 million amid restructuring and inventory write-downs. Son of a bitch. Gross profit 123 million. Restructuring. Full completion of restructuring by year end 26. $25 million buyback. Looking to see 10 to 15 million extra a year starting this year. Yep. It's getting rough out there. Damn. So once again, as much as people don't want to admit it, and again, I accept the fact that over here and over here, I was saying I like it in the numbers still, and I technically do. But again, first looked at it here in the wedge for the trade. Saw it wedge again here. Had the earnings coming up. That was the perfect storm that took it up to 9. And the problem is everyone saw it. Everyone missed it doubling and tripling. And then as it pulled back here, that's when everybody was like, oh, do you still like Honest? Do you still like Honest? And this is what I mean when I talk about people missing the play, right? That's why I always say the analysis is the analysis. The call is the call. The situation is the situation, right? You miss this, then you see this. So now you're trying to replicate this over here for this, right? And again, I'm not absolving myself, but I'm sure you can appreciate the point I'm making, right? And we saw this again with Hims as well, Hims and Hers. People saw what it did in the past, and then it pulled back into the 30s, the 20s. Then people were like, oh, now, right? It's a crazy buy. Now. And what happened? They weren't done yet. They continued to beat it up. They brought it all the way back down, essentially, to where it started in the low teens. And again, I did say, in my opinion, at whatever, 22, oh, yeah, Hims calls here, in my opinion. And the timing was obviously horrendous. Within, what, a day or two, there was the freaking issue with the what? Ozempic or whatever the hell it was, right? And that's what I mean. It was just bad timing. Because people were looking at previous trades and calls and now expecting to replicate them precisely. You know what I mean? And that's why they have the sayings, past performance does not dictate future results. But yeah, Honest right now, down 11%, 205. lower than where I first mentioned the wedge in the trade. That's wild. That is wild. But unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But as I say, again, I know everyone doesn't have huge money to take all these positions, but this is why, again, this is why you spread out, you diversify. And, you know, if there's like 5, 6 names on the radar, you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. Again, you can't look back looking for past performance to dictate future results and get upset when it doesn't pan out. You can't look at 5, 6, 10 recommendations, in my opinion, and just cherry pick one, and then if it doesn't work out, you don't believe in me, you don't believe in the system, you don't believe in the process. You know what I'm saying? And I've spoken about this and tried to drill it into people over the last 1, 2, 3 years. Because we've been down this road before. I've said this before. And that's what makes it so stressful. Because everyone at 4 and 5 with something like Honest thought it was a phenomenal call. Right? Now you're down 50%. But also, going back to a statement I used to say all the time, if you're holding it for the long term, well, then you're going to have to deal with short-term volatility to get that long-term growth. Yeah, I don't even know if the like the chat is working anymore. But like I said, if you guys can't talk to me, at least you can hear me. And there goes the keyboard. Actually, you know what? Let me see something here. Coming down to this trend, they are destroying this stock, man. So now, down 10%. So now the market cap's like 220 million. Which is basically less than the company's bringing in on annual income. So keep that in mind. Again, I see the share count has increased, but I mean, the numbers for the most part have been stable. Equity up to 200 mil. Again, debt. We were at 20, 30 mil, you know, now we're down 17, 15. So, perhaps it will have a rough couple of months. But again, could have been very early on this sell-off, right? But then we can maybe start to see over time. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm talking like a year or two down the road, but you understand what I'm looking at here. Like I say, man, it happens. It happens. And unfortunately, it's those who don't trust the overall process and don't try to take, a bunch of different situations. I promise you, if you cherry pick, you lose a lot of the time. As crazy as it sounds. There were people who didn't make any plays, didn't really catch a lot of the calls, and then I was talking about PayPal and they decide to jump in that one. You know what I mean? You're not really trusting the process. You're watching the parade go by. And then again, you think like, oh, you got the worst luck in the world. The universe is out to get you. You finally take a shot and we miss. And this is why, again, even if you're right, 80, 90% of the time, that still leaves 10, 20% of the time, you can be wrong. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. $88 million. They were looking for 88.5 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, even when we're off slightly. And like, I know people are looking for perfection in this market, but I don't know. I still think they brought this down too low. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I think fair value was, I mean, even like three-ish, like 3.5. I mean, again, it is what it is. No excuses. Again, I take it on the chin. I stand by my calls. If I'm always very cocky and arrogant when they're correct, well, then I have to be a man and be here and take it on the chin when they're incorrect. So I definitely take a big chunk of responsibility. But again, not to cop myself out, I will say, though, past performance doesn't dictate future results. And that's what I mean. A lot of people miss the run up on hymns from 12 to 70. Then they tried to replicate it at 40, 30, 20, the whole way down. People missed the trades on Honest at 2.5 and at 3.5. It went up to 7, 8, 9. Then as it started coming down, 5, 4, 3.25, they jumped in because they missed it and tried to replicate the trade. Now again, I understand what I said about it. And I stand by my analysis. But I just want everyone to understand how a strategy like that doesn't always translate to, guaranteed profits. Hey, Frederico. Welcome. Welcome to nothing. Welcome, damn it. Welcome. Hey, yo, what's up, buddy? How we doing? I guess the chat is working. Honest now down only 6.5%. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. I'm a burger fan. Ever seen me get a lot? Yeah, I don't know why. People saying the chat's not working. I didn't change an option or anything anywhere. I might only hang out for a few more minutes anyway. If you guys want to talk about anything, we could just do it in the Discord. I don't know why it's not working, but Durf came in here and spoke no problem. So I don't know. Maybe reload the page or something? I don't know. Take a look at my girlfriend. She the only one I got. Nvidia goes to about 203.5. Right now it's just hanging out at around 200. Yeah, I don't know why the chat's not working, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, you know what? I don't know if there's new people in here, but here's a 30-minute link invite to the Discord if anyone wants to join. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Ion Q staying up. Let's check some of these names. Trade Desk staying down. Snow. Up, down, up. Salesforce down. Let's just recheck Ion Q. Pure Storage up about 6%. Yeah, like I said, so far I got a decent amount of these calls correct. New holdings down, up, then down. They're playing with them. And like I still say, with all due respect, I'm just amazed how many people own the misses, right? I'm just amazed at how many people own the misses. Honest is down. Everyone owns Honest. PayPal dropped. Everyone had PayPal. SMCI is not exploding. Everyone owns SMCI. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. Because like I said, that means A, you're either not trusting the process, or B, you're following all the calls and you're only bitching when I'm wrong and you're not giving me the appreciation when I'm right. You know, that's where my mind goes. So, I don't know. I don't know. Can't make everyone happy. This is why, again, I spoke about core positions, solid positions, and then you have speculative positions. That's why I have a feeling that people are taking smaller cap, spec growth play positions as their core positions. So perhaps that is the issue. SMCI seeing a little bump as expected. Went up to above 34. Again, that's our key trend line right there. Key trend line about 34, which is basically 3407. Dip down to the fib. Trying to hold the moving average, trying to hold the fib. Hopefully slowly begins to step its way up. Again, key level about 34. Again, if you are not in the Discord, that is a Discord invite. You got about 20 minutes left. All right. Well, it is what it is. I hope everyone had a good day. Again, sorry I showed up late. I'll try to be here tomorrow, like at the open. And we'll have a good, nice stream day. But, yeah, good day, man. Offering from HGRAF. Turned out, in my eyes, looks like a nothing burger. Stock's probably going to stay strong. People are going to keep buying. People usually bought the dip, as our buddy Nick stated in the past, and we ended up bouncing right back up. So I'm not really worried about that. MBOT again back up to about 2.5. Slow and steady wins the race. SMCI, of course, good news, great day here, 8% day, climbing up to about 34 after hours. We know again that a lot of the markets and a lot of these companies are kind of now tied to Nvidia, right? So everyone's waiting for Nvidia numbers. Turns out they were good numbers again. Everything's great. Guidance up. So I assume we're green tomorrow at the open. Makes sense to me. But we'll see what it is. I'll end it there. So I appreciate everyone hanging out, appreciate your time, appreciate your support. Again, hopefully everyone had a good day. Hopefully everyone's having a good week. If you want to hang out, join the Discord. If you need me, I'm in Discord. You can leave a YouTube comment. And that's all I have to say. Thanks again. Have a good